My dear child, there are moments in life when something reaches deep inside you, not like a sound you hear with your ears, but like a warmth you feel in the very center of your chest. This is one of those moments. Whatever road brought you here today, whatever burden you carried to reach this place, whatever storm has been raging around you or inside you, I need you to know with absolute certainty that your presence here is not a coincidence. You did not accidentally find this message. This message found you. And it found you at exactly the right moment, at the precise second when your heart was soft enough to receive it, when your spirit was hungry enough to stretch toward something greater, and when your soul was finally ready to hear what heaven has been trying to say to you for a very long time. God is not speaking to a stadium full of people right now. He is not broadcasting to a faceless crowd. He is sitting with you, one-on-one, face-to-face, heart-to-heart, not with the version of you that performs for the world, not with the mask you wear when people are watching, not with the strong, capable, got it all together image you project just to make it through the day. He is speaking to the real you, the you that cries when nobody is looking, the you that wakes up at 3 in the morning with a chest full of worry, the you that smiles in public and aches in private, the you that has been holding on with trembling hands, wondering how much longer you can keep going. That is the person this word was written for. That is the person God sees, and He has never looked away, not for a single breath, not for a single second. So before we go any further, I want you to do something simple. Take a slow, deep breath. Let your shoulders drop. Unclench your hands. Because you do not have to perform right now. You do not have to be strong right now. You do not have to pretend right now. This is a safe place. This is a holy moment. And in this moment, you are completely and unconditionally loved. You have been trying so hard, haven't you? Harder than anyone around you even realizes. You have been juggling responsibilities that would exhaust most people, carrying emotional weight that nobody offered to help you lift, showing up for others even when nobody showed up for you. You have been the strong one, the dependable one, the one people call when they need help, even when your own heart is quietly breaking. And somewhere in the middle of all that giving, all that striving, all that holding everything together, your own spirit started running on empty. The joy that used to come easily began to feel distant. The faith that once burned brightly inside you started flickering like a candle in the wind. And you kept going anyway, because that is who you are. But deep down, in the quiet places nobody else has access to, you have been starving for something real. Not another motivational quote. Not another sermon that makes you feel good for a few hours before life swallows you whole again. You have been hungry for something that actually sees you, reaches you, and stays with you when the moment passes. That is exactly why God sent this word. Not to inspire you from a distance, but to find you right where you are. And here you are. You felt something the moment this began, didn't you? Something stirred inside you, a warmth, a recognition, a quiet knowing that this was different. That is not emotion. That is not imagination. That is your spirit recognizing the voice of the one who made it. Sheep know their shepherd's voice, and child, your spirit knows its creator. You were led here. You were chosen for this moment. And even with all your flaws, all your doubts, all your unfinished prayers and unanswered questions, God looked at you and said, "That one, that is the one I am calling today." Now, before we go deeper, if this message is already touching your heart, if you can feel something shifting inside you, I want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel right now. Because what God is releasing through this ministry is not just for today. There is more coming, more words, more moments like this one, more divine encounters that will change your life. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss what heaven is sending your way. How many times have you asked God why? How many times have you looked at the calendar, at the life you imagined you would be living by now, and felt that sharp sting of confusion, maybe even disappointment? You watched people around you receive blessings, build families, land opportunities, step into seasons of favor, and you stood there wondering if heaven somehow skipped your name. You prayed, you waited, you prayed again, and the silence felt so loud it was almost unbearable. You did not post about those moments. You did not talk about them at dinner or mention them in casual conversation. But in the dark, in the quiet, in the secret places of your heart, you cried, you questioned. You wondered if maybe you had done something wrong, missed something important, or somehow disqualified yourself from the goodness you once believed was coming for you. My child, every video is created with prayer, time, and dedication to reach those who may be searching for encouragement and faith. By supporting this ministry through Ko-Fi or PayPal, you help keep this mission growing and touching more lives each day. God bless you abundantly. God saw every single one of those moments. He did not miss a single tear. He did not overlook a single prayer. And He wants you to hear this clearly, directly, without any room for misunderstanding. Delay is not the same as denial. Let that sink in. Delay is not denial. God does not tease His children. He does not plant a dream in your heart just to watch it wither. He does not whisper a promise into your spirit just to go silent and leave you wondering. If He spoke it, He meant it. If He planted it, He will bring it to harvest. If He promised it, He is preparing it right now, even as you read these words. Even in the moments that feel the most still and the most silent. But here is what God needs you to understand about the waiting. He was not just working on the promise while you were in the wilderness. He was working on you. He was building something inside you that the blessing would require. Think about it this way. If someone handed you the keys to a mansion before you learned how to manage a small apartment, the mansion would become a burden, not a blessing. It would overwhelm you, break you, expose every weakness you had not yet addressed. And God, who loves you with a love that is deeper and wiser than anything human, refused to do that to you. He looked ahead at everything the blessing would carry, all the weight, all the responsibility, all the glory, and He said, "Not yet. Not because I do not love you, not because I forgot you, but because I love you too much to give you something that would crush you before you were ready to carry it." The waiting was not punishment. It was preparation. The silence was not abandonment. It was construction. Every season that felt empty was actually full of invisible work. God was laying foundations in you that you could not see. He was strengthening roots in you that would anchor the tree when the storms came. He was deepening your discernment, widening your capacity, stretching your faith, purifying your motives, and cultivating in you the kind of character that can steward not just a blessing, but a legacy. The person you are today, shaped by every delay, every disappointment, every season of waiting, that person is the person who can finally carry what is coming. And what is coming is not small. It is not ordinary. It has been custom built for you, tailored to the specific dimensions of your calling, your character, and your destiny. And now the tide is turning. Now the preparation is reaching its final stages. You may already feel it, a holy restlessness, an inner stirring that will not let you settle into the smallness you have been living in. A quiet but powerful knowing that something is about to shift. That is the sound of divine timing making contact with the earth. That is the rhythm of your delay transforming into your delivery. And when it arrives, child, when it finally comes, you will stand there with tears streaming down your face and wonder in your chest, and you will say, "It was worth it. Every long night was worth it." Every unanswered prayer was worth it. Every moment I held on when I wanted to let go was worth it. Because what is being released into your life is not just a gift. It is a glory. And it has your name written on it in the handwriting of heaven. Now I need to talk to you about something that has been sitting in the corners of your mind like a shadow. The belief that you missed it. That you had your moment and let it slip through your fingers. That the window closed while you were standing there too afraid to jump through. You replay it, don't you? That decision you hesitated on. That opportunity you talked yourself out of. That door you stood in front of and never walked through because fear spoke louder than faith in that moment. And ever since then, a voice has been whispering to you, it is over. You had your chance. You blew it. That ship has sailed. God might bless others, but your moment has passed. I am here to tell you, with every ounce of heaven's authority, that voice is a liar. It is not the voice of your Father. It is not the voice of truth. It is the voice of the enemy, who specializes in making people believe their story ended, when it actually just changed direction. Your story has not ended. Your moment has not passed. And God, the same God who turned water into wine, who brought dry bones back to life, who opened the sea for a nation of people with nowhere else to go, that same God is not limited by your timeline, your mistakes, or your moments of fear-driven hesitation. He is the author of holy plot twists. He is the God of the comeback, the restoration, the unexpected return. What you thought was lost, He has been holding. What you thought you missed, He has been rerouting. And yes, it is coming back, but not in the same form it left. It is coming back better, stronger, clearer, more aligned with who you are now than it ever was with who you were then. Because while you were grieving what left, God was preparing what is next. While you were looking back with regret, He was moving ahead of you with purpose. He does not just restore, He elevates. He does not just replace, He multiplies. He takes what the enemy meant to use as your ending and turns it into the introduction to your most powerful chapter yet. So stop digging graves for dreams that are not dead. Stop mourning what you think you lost. Stop letting the enemy convince you that you have crossed some point of no return. Because with God, there is no such place. There is no mistake too big, no detour too long, no delay too extended for Him to redeem. You have not missed your window. You are standing right in front of a door that heaven is about to swing open. And this time, you will walk through it without hesitation. Because you have been through enough to know that fear is not a reason to stay still. You have been through the fire and come out carrying something that cannot be burned. My child, a single act of kindness can help God's message reach someone who needs hope today. If you feel blessed by this channel, you can stand with us through the Ko-Fi or PayPal links in the description and pinned comment. Thank you for helping us spread God's love one soul at a time. If you are still watching and this word is reaching into the deepest parts of you, please take a moment right now to share this video with someone who needs to hear it. There is someone in your life, maybe a friend, a family member, someone you have not spoken to in a while, who is sitting in exactly the place you were sitting before this word found you. Be the reason they receive their breakthrough today. Share this message and let God use your hands to deliver someone else's miracle. Let us talk about prayer, specifically about a prayer you have prayed so many times the words have almost lost their shape. God, please make it clear. Just show me what to do. Give me a sign, something, anything. You have prayed that prayer kneeling on your bedroom floor. You have prayed it in the car with worship music playing and tears running down your face. You have prayed it silently in crowded rooms, looking like everything was fine, while your spirit was quietly pleading for direction. And you have waited, and waited, and the clarity you were begging for never arrived in the neat, obvious, unmistakable way you needed it to. Here is what God wants you to understand about that. He heard every single one of those prayers. Not one went unnoticed. Not one dissolved into the ceiling. Every prayer you prayed reached the throne of heaven and landed in the ears of the one who loves you most. But here is the thing about what you were actually asking for, and what God was actually building. You were asking for clarity. He was giving you something deeper, something that clarity alone could never provide. He was building certainty in you. Clarity and certainty are not the same thing. Clarity is when you can see the path in front of you. When the steps are visible, the direction is obvious, and the way forward is lit up like a runway. Certainty is something completely different. Certainty is when you cannot see the next step, but you know beyond all doubt who is walking with you. Certainty is the unshakable, deep down, soul-level conviction that says, even when I cannot see it, I know the one who can. Even when the path is hidden, I trust the God who holds the map. Even when nothing makes sense, I am anchored in the one who knows the end from the beginning. Clarity can be shaken. When circumstances shift, when plans fall apart, when the visible becomes invisible, clarity can crumble. But certainty, oh child, certainty cannot be stolen. It lives in a place the storms cannot reach. It stays lit in the darkest valleys. It sings in the middle of the midnight season. It stands firm when every external thing says you should be falling apart. And that is what God has been building in you through every unanswered prayer, every moment of confusion, every season where you could not see the way forward, but kept walking anyway. He was not withholding clarity to be cruel. He was constructing certainty to make you unbreakable. Because here is the truth. A person who walks by sight needs visible confirmation at every step. But a person who walks by certainty can move through darkness, silence, and uncertainty without losing their direction. And God is not training you to need signs at every corner. He is training you to trust the voice that speaks before the sign arrives. He is developing in you an intimacy with His presence that is more reliable than any circumstance, more stable than any feeling, more powerful than any external confirmation you could ever receive. When you learn to walk by that kind of certainty, nothing can stop you. Not closed doors, not delayed promises, not silent seasons, not opposition, not confusion, nothing. Because your stability is no longer tied to what you can see. It is anchored in who you know. So yes, God will answer your questions in His perfect time. But right now, He is answering a deeper question first. The question underneath the question. Can you trust me even when you cannot trace me? Can you follow me even when the path is dark? Can you believe my word even when your circumstances are screaming the opposite? And child, when the answer to that question becomes a genuine, unconditional yes, you will step into a level of power and peace that most people never experience. Because your faith will no longer be fragile. It will no longer need constant external proof to survive. It will be rooted so deeply in relationship that even the fiercest storms will not be able to uproot it. And that is exactly where miracles lie. Now I need to speak to you about identity. About the names you have been living under that were never given to you by God. Some of those names were placed on you by other people, spoken in anger, in ignorance, in moments when they were carrying their own pain and did not have the wisdom or the love to protect yours. Others were names you whispered over yourself in the darkness of shame, in the aftermath of failure, in the quiet moments when your worst fears about yourself felt like confirmed truth. Names like failure, forgotten, broken, too much, not enough, damaged, unworthy, disqualified, invisible, unwanted. These names are heavy. And the terrifying thing about heavy names is that you can start to carry them, so long that you forget you were not born wearing them. They begin to feel like facts instead of lies. You start to organize your life around them. You shrink your dreams to fit what a person with those names deserves. You edit your voice, dim your light, lower your expectations, and quietly accept a version of your life that was never what God designed for you. All because you believed names that heaven never spoke over you. God is speaking directly into that right now, with all the authority of heaven behind every word. He is saying, those names are not yours. They were never yours. They do not belong to you, and you do not have to carry them for one more day. Every label that did not come from the mouth of your Creator is a counterfeit. And today, right now, in this moment, He is taking those counterfeits off you. He is unbinding the chains of insecurity that have been muting your voice. He is breaking the power of comparison that made you feel like someone else's gifts made yours less valuable. He is dismantling the lie that your past disqualifies you from your purpose. He is silencing the voice that told you love must be earned, and that you could never be enough to deserve it freely. And in place of every false name, He is writing the true ones: overcomer, beloved, chosen, redeemed, light bearer, kingdom carrier, His. That last one matters more than all the others. You are His. Not because of what you have accomplished, not because of how consistent your faith has been, not because you have never doubted or stumbled or fallen apart, but because He made you, He called you, and He has never once regretted it. You are not your past. You are not your struggle. You are not your diagnosis, your failure, your anxiety, your broken relationship, or your financial situation. You are a child of the living God, and when He names you, that name carries more power than anything the world, the enemy, or your own self-doubt has ever spoken. Walk into that truth today, not perfectly, not all at once, but decisively. Begin to answer to the names heaven speaks. Begin to live according to the identity God wrote over you before the world ever had a chance to write its own version. Because when you walk in the truth of who you actually are, something shifts in the atmosphere around you. People notice it. Rooms feel it. The assignments that were meant for you begin to find you. Because you are no longer hiding behind who you were told you were. You are walking in who you were always meant to be. Do you know what a transfer point is? Not a turning point, not a fresh start, not even a breakthrough, though those things matter. A transfer point is something altogether different. It is the moment when heaven reaches down with open hands, not to take something from you, but to place something into you. Something that has been preserved, protected, and prepared in the storehouses of eternity with your name written on it. Something ancient, something promised, something so specifically yours that no one else in history could carry it the way you were built to carry it. God is declaring right now that you have arrived at a transfer point, not because you are perfect, not because you have it all figured out, but because you have endured. You have been through the fire, and you did not let it consume you. You have walked through the silence, and you did not stop believing. You have been pruned, stripped, isolated, refined, and redirected, and through all of it, you held on. And that holding on, that stubborn, tired, sometimes barely, their faithfulness, that is what qualified you for what is about to be placed in your hands. God is transferring wisdom that took others' lifetimes to acquire. He is releasing revelation that will come to you in the night hours and keep you awake because it is too powerful to sleep through. He is granting you access to rooms you did not earn through human effort, doors that swing open not because of your resume, but because of your royalty. He is putting keys in your spirit, authority in your voice, and clarity in your mind. Things you did not even know to pray for, unlocked by the faithfulness you have been walking in all along. He is not just giving you things. He is giving you territory. And when God transfers territory to someone, it is not to elevate their comfort. It is to establish His kingdom through their life. But here is the responsibility that comes with the transfer. Everything God places in your hands must be handled with reverence. Humility is not optional for someone carrying this much. Pride will crack what grace built. Arrogance will lose in a season what obedience took years to accumulate. So stay low. Stay grateful. Stay hidden in God even as the blessing becomes visible to others. Because what He is building through you is not a platform. It is a purpose. And purpose, real purpose, the kind that outlasts a single lifetime and reaches into generations you will never meet, that kind of purpose requires a person whose character runs deeper than their gifting. Beloved child, every video on this channel is created with love, faith, and dedication to sharing God's Word. If these messages inspire and encourage you, you can support our mission through the Ko-Fi or PayPal links in the description and pinned comment. Thank you for being part of this journey. Dear child, get ready. Not with anxious readiness, but with expectant, holy, settled readiness. The transfer is already in motion. You will feel it before you see it. And when it arrives, when the doors open and the ideas flood in and the provision shows up in ways that defy natural explanation, you will know. This was not luck. This was not coincidence. This was a promise kept by a faithful God who never forgot your name, never abandoned His plan for your life, and never stopped preparing for this exact moment. You have been surviving when you were born to define. Think about that for a second. Not just enduring the storm, but naming it. Not just making it through the season, but declaring over it what heaven says it means. When Abraham stood on the mountain, after the most terrifying test of his life, he did not call it trauma. He called it provision. He named it "The Lord will provide." When Jacob wrestled through the night and limped into the dawn, he did not call the place defeat. He called it Bethel, the house of God, the place where heaven touched earth. They named their seasons according to what God was doing in them, not according to what the enemy was doing to them. And God is handing you that same authority right now. The authority to name your season. Not based on how it felt, not based on what it cost you, but based on what it produced in you and what it reveals about the God who walked through it with you. Stop calling this season wasted. It was not wasted. Stop calling it dry. It was not dry. Stop calling it your lowest point, as if that is all it will ever mean. Because in the economy of heaven, your lowest points often produce your greatest breakthroughs. The darkness before the dawn is not proof that the sun is gone. It is proof that the sunrise is imminent. So open your mouth and speak over your season. Declare that this was the time your roots went deeper. Declare that this was the moment your faith stopped being theoretical and became real. Declare that this was the season God forged something in you that cannot be broken by anything the future holds. Name it with purpose. Name it with power. Name it with the authority of a child who knows their father and trusts that even the painful chapters were written with intention. Because when you name your season according to heaven's perspective, you do not just find peace about the past. You release power into the future. Friend, if this message is resonating in your spirit, if you can feel God's presence through these words, please click the like button right now. It only takes a second, and it helps this message reach the people who need it most. There are thousands of people who need to hear exactly what you just heard, and your simple act of clicking like can be the reason they find it. Do it now, as an act of faith, as a seed you are sowing into someone else's breakthrough. Let us talk about something that not everyone will admit out loud. The slow, quiet, almost invisible sinking that happens when hope fades gradually over a long period of time. Not a dramatic crisis, not a visible collapse, just a slow dimming, a gradual withdrawal, a daily erosion of the brightness that used to live in you so naturally. You have felt it, haven't you? The way the joy became harder to access. The way the faith that used to feel so alive started to feel like a memory more than a reality. The way you kept going through the motions, praying the prayers, showing up to the things, saying the right words, but something inside was quietly growing smaller and smaller. Nobody noticed. Maybe you barely noticed yourself until one day you looked in the mirror and realized the light that used to be in your eyes had gotten dim, and you did not even know exactly when it happened or how to get it back. God noticed. He noticed every step of it. He sat with you in every moment of that slow sinking, not as a distant observer, not as a disappointed parent, but as a shepherd who keeps his eyes on every single one of his sheep with fierce, unwavering, unconditional attention. And the moment he saw you going under, he moved. He did not wait for you to get it together and come to him. He came to you. He dove into the deep water with you. He left the 99 to come after the one, and child, you were the one. You are always the one worth leaving everything for. This message, right now, is his reaching down. This is him wrapping his arms around you in the water and saying, I see you. I have always seen you, and I am not leaving you here. Let me pull you back up. Let me breathe life back into the places that have gone quiet. Let me reawaken the dreams you stopped allowing yourself to dream, because the disappointment of dreaming and not seeing felt too heavy to keep carrying. You are not too far gone. You are not past the point of revival. You have not drifted so far that God cannot reach you. He is reaching right now. This word is the rope, and all he is asking of you is to stop fighting the current long enough to let him pull you to shore. Not just to survive, not just to barely make it, but to emerge from this with a strength you did not have when you went in, because God does not just rescue his children from the water. He uses the water to show them what they are made of. And what you are made of, child, is something extraordinary. Now I need to say something about the names and voices that have followed you. This is important. Throughout your life, voices have spoken over you, and some of those voices carried weight that was never theirs to carry. A parent who was too broken to see your beauty and called it something else. A teacher who misread your potential and labeled it something smaller. A partner who was too insecure to celebrate your gifts and called them threatening. A community that was too rigid to contain your calling and called it rebellion. An inner critic who took all of those voices and put them on a loop, playing them so often they started to feel like your own thoughts. These voices created a version of you that you were never meant to be. A shrunk down, edited, apologetic, permission-seeking version that fit into spaces God never designed you for. And you have been so faithful to that false version of yourself, carrying it carefully, not wanting to disappoint anyone, not wanting to be too much, not wanting to seem arrogant by actually believing in the fullness of what God placed in you. Today, that changes. Not tomorrow, not when things settle down. Today, right here in this moment. Because God is not willing to let you carry that weight for one more season. He is declaring over you with the authority of heaven that the old identity is finished. It served its time. It carried you through the periods when you did not yet know who you were. But it does not fit anymore. And it was never the real you anyway. The real you is bold. The real you carries something that rooms feel the moment you walk in. The real you has a voice that was designed to speak into specific lives, specific situations, specific generations in ways that nobody else can replicate. The real you was not too much. You were just in spaces too small to hold what God put in you. And now he is enlarging your space. He is expanding your territory. He is repositioning you in rooms that were built for the real version of you, the one that walks in the truth of who He says you are. Receive that. Let it land in you, not just as a nice thing to hear, but as a reality to walk in. Starting today, you respond to the names God gave you. You move according to the identity He wrote over you. You take up the space He designed for you. And you do it not with arrogance, but with the humble confidence of someone who knows exactly who their Father is and what He says about His children. My child, we are committed to spreading hope, faith, and the message of Jesus Christ to people around the world. If you would like to help us continue this work, please visit our Ko-Fi or PayPal links below. Your kindness means more than words can express. This is a moment of commissioning, not just encouragement, not just inspiration. God did not pour all of this into you so that it would stay with you. He filled you so that you could overflow. The fire that has been lit in your spirit right now was not placed there just to keep you warm. It was placed there to be carried into dark places, into cold rooms, into lives that are exactly where you were before this word found you. There are people in your world who are sinking in the same water you just climbed out of. There are people carrying the same false names you just laid down. There are people waiting for the same clarity you just received. And God is sending you back to them. Not as someone who has it all figured out, but as someone who can say, I was where you are, and this is what God did. Your story is not just yours. It is a weapon against hopelessness. It is a key that unlocks the chains of someone else. It is a testimony that proves to the person who thinks God has forgotten them that He never stops keeping His promises. So go back. Go back to your family with new eyes. Go back to your workplace with new authority. Go back to your community with new fire. Go back to the relationships that felt broken with new grace. You are not returning as the same person who entered this moment. You are returning marked, anointed, commissioned, and sent. And as you go, carry this truth with you everywhere. You are never walking alone. Not into the difficult conversation. Not into the uncertain season. Not into the room where you feel unqualified and overwhelmed. God goes before you into every room before you get there. He stands behind you as your rear guard. He lives within you as your constant companion. You will never face a moment that He has not already seen, already prepared for, and already made provision for. You are not a wandering soul hoping things work out. You are a sent one, backed by heaven, covered by grace, equipped with everything you need for the assignment in front of you. Go with boldness. Not the boldness of someone who is certain about themselves, but the boldness of someone who is certain about their God. Because that kind of boldness cannot be shaken by opposition, cannot be silenced by fear, and cannot be stopped by anything the enemy throws at it. That is the boldness that moves mountains. That is the boldness that changes atmospheres. That is the boldness that reaches other drowning people and pulls them to shore. And that is the boldness that is resting in you right now, ready to be walked out. Now, for those of you who have been watching this channel and have not yet subscribed, this is your moment. Hit that subscribe button right now, because what God is releasing through this channel is a continuous stream of heaven-sent words, exactly like this one, designed to reach you in your real moments, your struggling moments, your quiet, in the dark moments, and remind you of who you are and who is with you. Subscribe so that every time God sends a word your way, you are positioned to receive it. Your spirit deserves that consistency. Your faith deserves that nourishment. Do not miss another message. There is one final thing I want you to carry from this moment. A truth so simple that a small child can hold it, but so deep that the wisest person in the world could spend a lifetime unpacking it. God loves you. Not the performed version of you. Not the successful version of you. Not the version of you that prays consistently and never doubts, and always gets it right. He loves you, the real you, the messy, complicated, sometimes struggling, sometimes doubting, trying your best, still here after everything you. He loves you not because of what you do for him, but because you are his. You were his before the world began. You will be his long after this world ends. And in every moment in between, including this one, his love for you has never once wavered. That love is what sent every promise. That love is what sustained you through every delay. That love is what prepared the blessing that is coming. That love is what rescued you when you were sinking. That love is what wrote your name on every good thing heaven has reserved for you. And that love, that fierce, faithful, unbreakable, unconditional love, is what will carry you from this moment forward into everything he has already prepared. You answered the call today. You showed up. You stayed. You received. And heaven recorded every moment of it. Now walk forward, child. Walk forward in the certainty of someone who has heard from God and knows they are not alone. Walk forward in the identity of someone who has been named by heaven and refuses to answer to anything less. Walk forward in the boldness of someone who has been commissioned for a purpose that is bigger than any fear, any doubt, or any obstacle in the way. Walk forward knowing that the God who spoke to you today is the same God who will be with you tomorrow, and the day after, and every day until the very last promise he made over your life is fulfilled. Every single one. You did not come here by accident. You were chosen for this moment, and now this moment has chosen you for everything that comes next. Go in peace. Go in power. Go in the unshakable knowledge that you are deeply, completely, eternally loved. And whatever comes, whatever challenges arise, whatever storms gather on the horizon, remember this moment. Remember that you heard the voice of heaven today. Remember that it called you by name. Remember that it said you are not forgotten, not forsaken, not finished. You are chosen. You are sent, and you are his, always his.